Hey guys, just thought I'd do some videos for the guys at the Vacuum Cleaner Collectors Association in the States, just of a couple of different vacuums that you guys don't have over there. So the first one is a Volta Airstream2. I think over there you guys had it as an Electrolux Airstream, the LG Kompressor canister, and the Electrolux Excellio with the motorized head. So I'm just going to do a couple of different videos on those for you guys. I've got my supervisor here watching very closely, but yeah, let's get on with it. Just got some basic pet hair down donated by this fella here, Roger, just to show you with the Electrolux or the Volta Airstream. Really simple unit, bag canister, one of the few that I've seen that actually has suction control on it. Really simple underneath, plastic agitator underneath. A little bit of an interesting design because it actually is looks like it's bolted together in two different pieces, and then just inside uses a really basic paper bag, like so. One of the more quiet ones I've ever used. It's even at full power. So it does a decent job of the carpet. I'd probably, on a scale of giving it a deep clean, probably give it maybe a 6 out of 10. It's not particularly deep clean, but it does give a nice clean, much better than a canister. Feels a little bit funny though to use over a patterned carpet, just because I think the head doesn't sort of seal against the carpet as well as it does on a plush pile carpet. The LG Kompressor is probably one of my favourite bagless vacuum cleaners. All the controls are on the handle, but it's incredibly quiet, but still really powerful. Obviously, on carpets doesn't do a particularly awesome job, only because it's got a turbo-driven brush rather than a motorized head, but on hard floors performs really well. One thing with the compressor is inside of the canister, you can actually see that paddle moving around, hence why it's called the compressor. So it actually compresses all the dust together, so that when you actually open and empty it, it doesn't create a big dust cloud. So although it's got a really tiny, so if you compare the size of my hand to the canister, it actually holds a hell of a lot because it compresses all the dust down instead of actually just letting it fly around. The thing that's cool about the LG is it actually will give you a warning, so if you haven't put the canister on correctly, you can turn the machine on and you'll get this. So instead of it actually just operating with it not working, you can vacuum the whole house and then find the canister wasn't connected properly. The machine won't actually allow you to do so. So when you actually empty it out, you can see it falls out into a block that's been moulded by the paddle inside of the jug, rather than actually just falling out in a big heap of dirt. The really interesting thing about the motorized head, or the air-driven head that it uses, is it's not actually just bristles, it actually has rubber blades as well. So it's designed, I think, to help pick up on hard floors better than a normal brush. One of my all-time favourite vacuums is the Electrolux Excellio. So this came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's three models. There's a base level model with a slide control, there's a second one with the electronic, and there's the third one that actually has the remote control, which is the infrared based on the handle. And this one you could actually also get the optional motorized head. Now, although the motorized head is actually really small, it cleans better than some of the other bigger motorized heads on the market, and some better than the uprights. I think that's mainly due to the fact it has a really strong suction, but the machine's also really quiet as well. But I thought I'd put down some pet hair, and you can even see with a motorized head I can actually lift the rug off the floor, and usually with a motorized head you're not actually able to do that. I think with this one though, the main thing is that the brush actually moves really rapidly, and it's actually a geared system, so it doesn't actually have any belts, so that way the head actually maintains a constant performance on the floor. But as far as the actual performance of this one goes, I can't really even bring it back towards me on these loose mats because it actually pulls the mats up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab out a vacuum that I know for a fact that you guys don't have in the States, and that's a Wertheim. So this is the machines that we mainly sell where I work. So I'm going to grab one of those out and give you a run through that. So this machine here is a Wertheim Super System 1600, or to us folks that work with them, it's actually a W4030. These machines are actually made by Electrolux, so you can probably see, I suppose, similarities between this and the Excellio that I was just using before. The main difference is this though, is we use our own current carrying hoses, which are actually made in Melbourne, Australia, and then we use, on this model, we use the Whirlwind power heads, which there's two evolutions of. There was ones that were made with the front white strip across the top, which were made in Canada, and then the ones that the newer ones were actually made in Mexico. I'll just pop this one on here for you. So it's a little bit louder than the Excellio, but the overall performance of the machine, these were actually rated the best vacuum to buy by Australia's Choice magazine, which I suppose your equivalent over there is a consumer magazine. However, quite recently, they've actually stopped testing with motorised heads. You can see with this, it actually vibrates the dirt, and that's the difference between this one and the Electrolux head. This one actually has a vibration technology which picks up more dirt out of the carpet than the standard motorised head. Big thing with motorised heads are not particularly common in Australia. So this machine here in 1999 would have been valued at approximately $899. Entry level now with a motorised head in the Wertheim range starts at $899 for the bagless X3000.